So Boosie's federal gun case is about to end one way or another. And I 100% believe exactly what this reporter put out because we sort of put it out that way anyways. But it's something that Boosie is doing that everybody is like, wait, what? What that is? Don't worry. I'm going to let you know.
Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. Stop.
Let's get into it. So, y'all see where it says just accepted a plea from the federal government on my gun case. I thought this case was over and I was going to get on my life, but God don't make mistakes. Did Ms. Cuniff say, Boosie lawyer Meghan Blanco told me that according to the agreement, prosecutor can't ask for more than 2 years. I'm hoping for no jail time, of course, she said. So how do we break this down? Like, how is this possible? Well, the first thing is obviously going to be the plea deal, right? So Boosie accepting the plea deal in this federal gun case, basically stating that this is what we're going to agree to, which means they've been going back and forth for a while. So the prosecution is going to agree not to request more than 24 months of prison times. And basically, we're going to find out what's dropped, what's agreed to, and all of that stuff. So they're probably going to argue for time served or supervised release, even though the government already know that they're going to request like 2 years. But I'm going to be fair. The judge is not bound by the prosecutor's recommendation. Even if the prosecutor recommends 2 years, the defense asks for probation and time served. The judge can impose a harsher or lightened sentence with federal guidelines unless the plea agreement has a binding sentencing range, like Rule 11C1C, which doesn't seem like it's going to be used here. So everybody looking at Boosie like, dang, bro, why you do that? Why you do that? Why you do that? Well, shit, I mean, he was looking at a mandatory. Some of y'all try to argue the 15. I said that's what enhancements, but he was actually looking at a mandatory 5 for sure. I think anybody who was on the bandwagon of, yeah, bro, nah, no 15. All right, cool. I'll let y'all have that victory. You can have that victory, but basically there was a mandatory 5 in there if they wanted to do it. Like I said before in the first video, I think they got points knocked off. And then it's basically, and I think, and y'all keep on being mad at me like, oh no, bro, this might not happen. This might happen. And I'm like, man, he could get that RDAP. And some of y'all like, nah, man, that's not true. That's not true. But then when I showed y'all the indictment yesterday, what did we all see? We all seen that marijuana stick sitting out there. So I'm thinking that the lawyers basically gave the prosecution an out, or the prosecution gave Boosie's lawyers an out. And then one of the biggest things that's going on right now, bro, is Boosie is still doing shows. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all who I hit, but I definitely was looking out for him like, hey, bro, man, I think yo folks, I think he about to turn himself in. They ain't say nothing, which they weren't supposed to say anything, because if Boosie is your people, the best thing you can always do is keep your stuff in-house. But, Seti Nash going to look out for Seti Nash interests and the interests of his people. So I'm basically like, yeah, man, what the hell? He like, blank. So that let me know something. But either way it go, man, Boosie ain't going to get no more than 2 years. And I think that's basically what's going to end up happening, is because he got caught with that weed in his mouth and weed in the ashtray and all that stuff and everything. And some of y'all will be, oh, well, weed is legal in California. Weed is legal in California. It's still not legal anywhere for you to drive high or any of that crap. And he could have 100% just played like an addict. But let's get into it.
Got some shit for you jackals, couple more for you haters, Tommy guns for you busters, Westbrook triple double, smash him.
So there's a couple of things that Boosie knows, right? He obviously still has shows that are ready to go. So it's one of a couple of things that's going to happen. Either the day on the 26th, he's going to accept the plea charges, and then they're going to let him get his affairs in order, and then he'll have like a farewell freaking concert or whatever the hell, or they take him in. And he's just wishful thinking. Or he gets put on probation. Whatever is going to happen to Boosie, it's going to favor him more. Now, the whole entire thing about the what is it called? The doggone federal paperwork, the indictment that came out, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. And we'll kind of poke holes in a couple of things that came out. Some that make sense, some that don't make sense. But as far as how this all goes, Boosie ended up winning this one. Because ultimately, him being on ankle and all that stuff and everything like that, we're going to see, because he hasn't had any violations. You done seen him get on freaking, what is it called? Get online and be like, hey, yo, I lost my charger and all that stuff. Or do you have this charger? You know, Boosie always the one that's on there talking about, yeah, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. But to Boosie's credit, from what we've seen, he's been doing right. So Boosie's going to end up doing 2 years, which I told you, I was like, bro, he's going to end up doing like 1.8 or 2.5. So I think we were good on that one. But that just kind of confirmed. And for everybody who would like to argue me down and stuff like that, you're free to do so. You're free to do so. But imagine this. Imagine if you're wrong. Imagine if you're wrong. I told you, I think those freaking feds got spanked in court and got stuff knocked down points-wise. I think Boosie's looking at 18 points, which would go with my original theory from the original video. Y'all definitely want to go check that one out. But that's what I believe happened, man. So if Boosie gets 2 years, I think we'll end up being like, oh, yeah, we caught it. But him getting probation? That's a hard one to chew. That's a very hard one to chew. Him getting probation, bruh, that's just going to be one of those things where, are you going to take like a terrible deal to get out of this situation? Like, and how long is probation going to be? 5 years, 10 years? Like, certain things that you agree to or that you have, bruh, sometimes that clock you out as well. But we're going to see, man. I have no idea. And hey, man. So, listen, 2 lucky subscribers are going to walk away with this or this. I will not be putting it in the comments or anything like that. Basically, to win, subscribe, turn on the bell, comment on every video, and share every video, and you are automatically entered to win. Cost you nothing. We're not doing none of those phony raffles where you buy a ticket and the next thing you know, you win, and then people are inboxing people around you like, hey, bro, I actually didn't win. The dude, he actually lied. He took my money. She lied. She took my money. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Nope. Subscribe, turn that bell to notify, share to keep your people aware. Like every single post. The more y'all hit the like button, the more people come and subscribe. So that's free. That's free. And then when we get to that 400K, guess what we're going to be doing? We're going to be giving away money. And then we're going to increase it to 3 of these. But by that time, shoot, we might even have a new system out. We definitely going to cop those. So I appreciate you all. I'll catch you on the next one. Click right here to find out what the industry knew but didn't want to come out as far as Gunna versus Young Thug, because Young Thug just did something behind the scenes that's going to shake Atlanta when it comes out. But hey, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Well, in a couple of hours.
Oh, brother, this guy